He never corrected anyone. Not when they blamed him. Not when they ignored him. Not even when they were wrong. People assumed that meant he agreed. They didn't realize he simply didn't believe every moment deserved his voice. And that belief would one day change everything. Elias arrived before sunrise every morning. Same seat on the train. Same corner of the platform. Same quiet walk through the city while everyone else stared into their phones. He worked in municipal records, the kind of job no one asks about and no one remembers. People called it stable. What they really meant was invisible. At work, Elias was dependable in the way furniture is dependable. Useful. Unnoticed. Taken for granted. When mistakes happened, his name floated into conversations, not because anyone was certain, but because no one expected him to argue. And Elias never did. Silence has a cost. At first, it's small. A credit someone else takes. A meeting you're not invited to. A decision made without your input. Over time, silence becomes a story other people tell about you. They decided Elias lacked ambition. That leadership wasn't in his nature. That pressure would expose him. No one asked him. Because Elias never volunteered explanations. At home, his life followed the same quiet rhythm. No dramatic opinions. No loud celebrations. No urge to prove anything. Evenings were spent reading, writing notes, and thinking about systems most people ignored. Patterns mattered to Elias. Not people's words, but their habits. Not promises, but repeated behavior. The first fracture came without noise. A project Elias had managed for months was reassigned days before completion. No warning. No explanation. His supervisor avoided eye contact. "It's not personal," she said. Elias nodded. But something shifted. Not anger. Something heavier. Something slower. That night, he didn't sleep. Not because he was upset, but because he was calculating. Tracing decisions. Replaying conversations. Mapping consequences. Quiet people are often mistaken for passive ones. Elias was anything but. There comes a moment every patient person faces. A moment where endurance begins to feel like self-betrayal. Elias stood at that edge. He could speak up and change how people perceived him. Or remain silent and protect something deeper. His integrity. He understood something most people never do. Speaking too early gives power to the wrong moment. So he waited. Not for revenge. For alignment. The system failed on a Tuesday. Files went missing. Records conflicted. Approvals stalled. Panic spread. Voices overlapped. Blame bounced around the room. Elias watched. Listened. Leadership asked if anyone understood the structure well enough to trace the failure. No one spoke. Except Elias. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just clearly. He explained the problem step by step. Where the data diverged. How the oversight occurred. What needed to be corrected. No accusations. No emotion. The room grew quiet. Not because he demanded attention, but because clarity does that. By the time he finished, everyone understood something uncomfortable. The person they had overlooked was the one holding everything together. No applause followed. No sudden praise. Elias returned to his desk. That was the most powerful part. Later that day, someone finally asked him why he never defended himself before. Elias paused. Then said quietly, Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Some truths speak louder when they arrive on their own. Silence, he had learned, isn't absence. It's restraint. And restraint is a form of strength very few people master. Some people wait to be heard. Others wait to be undeniable.